What's up, everybody? John Hoover from the franchise. I just witnessed one hell of a college football game. Oklahoma 42, Iowa State 41, and it was every bit as close as it sounds. The Sooners survive on an intercepted two-point conversion with just a few seconds left on the clock, and then this time they're on the right side of an onside kick. They recover the onside kick. CeeDee Lamb ends up getting the football. Oklahoma wins, beats Iowa State 42-41. First up, OU wins its 18th consecutive November game. This is championship November. This is what this team and this program purports itself to be all about. And I'm telling you, they had to survive by the slimmest of margins tonight. But as Jalen Hurts said, don't let this stoic face fool you. He said, I'm very happy with the win. Guys didn't sound happy in the postgame press conference, whether it was Lincoln Riley, defensive coordinator Alex Grinch, Jalen Hurts himself, Kenneth Murray, or any of the other players that were made available to us tonight. Those guys didn't sound happy with this win. They didn't sound happy because they didn't meet their standard. They didn't meet the Oklahoma championship standard that they've set for themselves. And frankly, this game nearly got away from them after leading by 21 points in the fourth quarter. OU led 35-14 at halftime in what Lincoln Riley said might have been the best half of football that he's seen in the 4+ almost 5 years now that he's been here. Think about that for a minute. The best half of offensive football that Lincoln Riley's seen, that's saying something. And the reason is they put up huge numbers and were extremely efficient against one of the Big 12's most effective defenses. OU put up 374 yards of total offense. They had 19 first downs in the first half. Jalen Hurts passing the football, 14 of 17, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 62 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He was absolutely on fire. CeeDee Lamb at halftime, 6 catches for 142 yards. The Sooners were 6 of 8 on third down. Nothing they did went wrong for them today in the first half. Defensively, it was pretty good too. Only 14 points allowed to Iowa State, who's probably the second or third best offense in the Big 12 conference with Brock Purdy and all the guys that he's got around him and a senior veteran offensive line. Their 140 career starts on the offensive line leads the entire Big 12 conference, more even than the 5 seniors at Kansas State who came into today with 137 career starts. This offensive line is for real. Brock Purdy is for real. The Iowa State offense is very good. And to do what Oklahoma did defensively to them, 0 for 4 on third down. They only had 10 first downs in the whole first half. The 80 yards rushing by the Iowa State offense. This was a great performance for Oklahoma in the first half. But the second half, things turned literally 180 degrees. Everything that Oklahoma was doing well in the first half, they did poorly in the second half. Everything that Iowa State was doing poorly in the first half, they did well in the second half. Jalen Hurts, for instance, 4 of 9 passing the football, only had for the second half, only had 41 yards passing, 5 rushing attempts for a net 2 yards for Jalen Hurts in the second half. As a team, Oklahoma ran 23 plays, only had 125 total yards. Things went really rough in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma, get this, 10 offensive plays for 24 yards for the Sooners in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Iowa State ran 25 plays for 142 yards of total offense. And you just got to look at the scoreboard. Iowa State outscored Oklahoma 20-0 in the fourth quarter. It was very nearly 22-0. I mentioned Brock Purdy. Listen to some of these numbers. 282 yards passing, 55 yards rushing. He finished the night with 6 total touchdowns, 5 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Just an unbelievable night for Brock Purdy. You could say that for the second week in a row, Jalen Hurts, once the Heisman frontrunner, was outplayed for the second game in a row by his counterpart. 2 weeks ago by Kansas State's Skylar Thompson, tonight by Iowa State's Brock Purdy. Ultimately, OU was nearly done in at the end. They're trying to run down the clock. They were nearly done in by a dreadful decision and a terrible throw by Jalen Hurts. He's running away from pressure. It's 3rd and long. He's running away from pressure. He's floating. He leans back, throws the football off his back foot, tries to thread it into a narrow window, into a crowd, up the sideline. Anything but what he did right there would have been a better play. But he ended up trying to fit it in. It was intercepted. Iowa State turns it around and scores the touchdown. Charlie Kohler, the Norman North product, catches the touchdown pass to make it a 42-41 game. And then it's on to Matt Campbell's shoulders to determine whether he's going to kick the extra point, send the game to overtime, or he's going to go for 2 and win it right there. I think Matt Campbell made the right choice to go for the 2-point conversion right then and right there. Just didn't work out in his favor. Although, I need to illustrate, I need to clarify, Parnell Motley did come away with that interception on the 2-point conversion only after he got away with some pretty serious pass interference. He had two hands on the guy. Was not a good clean pass, but it was not a good clean defensive play, I should say. Parnell Motley's not probably going to be called for that very often. In that situation, a 2-point conversion, the home team, the team that the college football playoff is keeping an eye on, Oklahoma, at number 9 in the rankings. Yeah, conspiracy theory, call it what you want. I'm sure Iowa State fans are not happy about it. Bottom line is Parnell Motley contacted the heck out of that receiver and probably should have been called for pass interference. OU's lone bright spot really in the second half, Kennedy Brooks, the running back, 7 carries for 82 yards in the second half alone. He finished with 15 rushes for 132 yards, and he had that 48-yard touchdown that at the end of the third quarter looked like it was the clincher. Alex Grinch and Kenneth Murray talked to them both in the post-game press conference, and they both tried to fall on the sword. They both tried to jump on the grenade. They both tried to take the blame for this loss, but the fact of the matter is this was a team loss. The offense was every bit as bad as the defense in the fourth quarter. The defense was every bit as bad as the offense. This was, I said team loss. See there? That's the way this team has been reacting to this game. It was a win. It was a team win, but it felt like a loss because you blow a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter and you get away with a pass interference in the end zone. It was a team win, sure, yeah. First half was great, second half not so much for Oklahoma. It's 1:30 in the morning here at the Owen Field press box, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. Final score 42-41. The Cyclones fall to 5-4, believe it or not. That's ridiculous for as good as they are, as talented a team as they are, that they've lost 4 games already. Oklahoma improves to 8-1. They're number 9 in the college football playoff rankings. And frankly, I don't know what today's action means. You saw Alabama at number 3, lose to number 2 ranked LSU at home to the Tigers. You saw number 4 Penn State go on the road to number 17 Minnesota. Penn State got upset. But I don't know if Oklahoma's first half is going to be noticed by the playoff committee because this was a domination in the first half, or if maybe the playoff committee is going to notice more the second half and the final score and maybe the pass interference that wasn't called. So 2 teams in front of Oklahoma lost today. I don't think that means necessarily that the Sooners are going to move up into that playoff spot. Maybe if they can average 1 playoff rankings move per week, that would be something that, you're 5 spots down with 5 weeks to go. Either way, we'll find out when the new rankings come out on Tuesday. Be sure and catch my new podcast, Locked On Sooners. It's a daily podcast, OU football and all sports. Also, be sure and follow me on Twitter at John E. Hoover. Thanks for watching. See you guys.